Solo Leveling follows Sung Jinwoo's journey of becoming the strongest S-rank hunter. Based on a web novel, the manhwa's popularity has soared, dominating webtoon platforms and achieving a record-breaking premiere on Crunchyroll for its anime adaptation. So if you're like me and you enjoy action and fantasy set in modern day, then join me as I summarize the first arc of the manhwa Solo Leveling and explore the origins of Sung Jinwoo's journey. Hey, I'm Solo. Today I'm summarizing the D-rank dungeon arc. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The first chapter opens with Seoul, South Korea and Sung Jinwoo, an E-rank hunter, preparing for a dungeon raid. Despite his above-average strength and regeneration, it would be embarrassing to call him a hunter. Jinwoo's primary motivation for hunting is to afford his sick mother's medical bills. Meanwhile, at a construction site, Kim Sung-shik's friend Park Bom-shik discusses his financial concerns due to his wife's pregnancy. The attention then shifts to Jinwoo, who arrives at the site to a warm welcome from his fellow hunters. Sung-shik calls Jinwoo the world's weakest hunter, which surprises Bom-shik, who thought he would be stronger after the welcome he received. As Jinwoo attempts to buy coffee, his bad luck continues as he discovers they've run out. Meanwhile, his friend Lee Joo-hee notices his injuries. Jinwoo attributes his injuries to hunting and explains that he's used to being the weakest in the group. As the group prepares to enter a dungeon, Song Chi-yul is chosen as the raid leader, and they head into the dungeon with Jinwoo resolved to do his best. As they enter the dungeon, the worker from the coffee van expresses regret for not being able to offer Jinwoo coffee before they depart. Another co-worker ponders the dungeon's rank, considering it to be D rank and downplaying the potential risks to Jinwoo despite his frequent injuries. Inside the dungeon, Jinwoo is already injured, and his friend Joo-hee expresses concern for his safety, questioning his commitment to being a hunter. While the other hunters engage in combat within the dungeon, Joo-hee focuses on healing Jinwoo's wounds. As the dungeon nears its end, Jinwoo and Joo-hee share a conversation about his reasons for being a hunter, with Jinwoo evading the true answer out of embarrassment. After the dungeon clears, the hunters gather, and Chi-yul explains the value of essence stones obtained from defeating magic beasts. Jinwoo, having only one E-rank essence stone, voices his dissatisfaction. Suddenly, the group discovers another entrance leading to a dark tunnel, possibly indicating a double dungeon. Chi-yul proposes taking on the dungeon's boss themselves to prevent other hunters from seizing the opportunity first. The decision is put to a vote, with Jinwoo's vote ultimately determining their course of action. Despite his fears and financial burdens, motivated by the need to provide for his family, Jinwoo resolves to enter the dungeon. As they continue deeper into the dungeon, the group becomes increasingly uneasy. Jinwoo apologizes to Joo-hee for putting her in danger, but she lashes out, expressing her frustration at his recklessness and the severity of his injuries. Jinwoo feels indebted to her for her healing abilities. She suggests Jinwoo treat her to a meal to make up for his behavior, surprising him with her directness. They're interrupted when someone discovers the boss's lair, marked by a strange door. Despite the eerie atmosphere, Chi-yul insists on investigating further, and the group follows suit. Inside, they find ancient statues and peculiar inscriptions. As they explore, Joo-hee notices the large statue's eyes seem to move. Jinwoo initially dismisses her observation, but soon senses something amiss. When Chi-yul finishes reading the inscription, the door seals shut, trapping them inside. Chaos ensues as one member attempts to force the door open, only to be gruesomely killed by a statue. Amidst the panic, Jinwoo recalls Joo-hee's earlier warning about the statue's movements and realizes they are in grave danger as the large statue fixates on him with a chilling stare. Jinwoo reflects on his past of being in life-threatening situations during raids, emphasizing his status as the weakest hunter due to his lack of skills and inability to profit from essence stones like others. Despite enduring mockery and ridicule, he continues to persevere, which is maybe why he immediately realizes the danger when he sees the statue's eyes and warns the others, saving them from a devastating blast that claims several casualties. Jinwoo tries to grab Chi-yul's attention after seeing Joo-hee's condition. However, Chi-yul explains to Jinwoo that Joo-hee struggles with frightening situations. That's why she only does low-rank dungeons despite being a B-rank healer. Assessing the situation, Chi-yul thought that Jinwoo had a plan but was frustrated when Jinwoo says he merely acted on instinct. Jinwoo notices Chi-yul's injury and speculates about the statue's rank, suggesting it may even be S-rank due to its lethal power. Recalling the temple's commandments: 1. Thou shalt worship God. 2. Thou shalt praise God. 3. Thou shalt prove thy faith. And lastly, those who fail to obey these commandments shall not be spared. Jinwoo concludes that the giant statue represents the god mentioned in the commandments, implying their inevitable demise if they fail to obey. Jinwoo explains the nature of gates as portals connecting the world to another dimension, where hunters fight against magic beasts. Awakened beings like Jinwoo possess innate powers upon awakening, categorized by ranks which can never be changed. At times, beyond these gates, hunters confront frightening frightening monsters that plunges them into hopelessness. Jinwoo worries about Cheol's injuries, but he laments their lack of healing options due to the casualties and the traumatized state of their remaining healers. As they realize that attempting to leave or fight back against the statues is futile, a desperate hunter tries to force his way out with his speed, but instantly gets vaporized, driving the rest into deeper despair. Jinwoo observes the statues' behavior and realizes they follow a set of rules rather than attacking indiscriminately. Recalling the commandments from the temple, Jinwoo deduces that the room has specific rules governing their actions. He asks Cheol for the first commandment, "Thou shalt worship God," and starts to stand up despite Cheol's confusion. Jinwoo asserts that the statues don't attack all moving beings, hinting at a possible strategy to survive. The statue's eyes light up for an attack, but Jinwoo immediately ducks and survives, reaffirming his idea. Jinwoo realizes the first commandment's meaning. The statue attacks if one stands above a certain height, but spares those who bow. Despite initial resistance, the group follows Jinwoo's instructions and bows, avoiding further attacks. The statue smiles, its eyes filled with a menacing red glow, seemingly pleased by the situation. The hunters are relieved but are cut short as the statue rises, fearing they may have to fight it. As the statue walks towards them, Jinwoo reminds everyone of the second commandment, "Thou shalt praise God." A hunter steps forward to sing a hymn, hoping to appease the statue. However, Jinwoo realizes the hymn is ineffective as it praises a different deity, and the statue crushes the hunter. As chaos ensues and the hunters try to evade the statues, Cheol advises them to split up. Bomshik, desperate to survive for his family's sake, manages to get far but only to be cut in half. Jinwoo realizes that the statues with weapons are lethal, but he notices those with instruments may not attack. He directs everyone to run to a statue with an instrument. As Cheol approaches a statue with an instrument, it begins to play, offering a momentary respite. Jinwoo and Juhee find one, but their chosen statue remains silent. Jinwoo realizes they can't be together and leaves Juhee by the statue as he searches for another. As Jinwoo rushes towards what he thinks is a statue holding an instrument, Cheol alerts him that he's headed to a shield instead. He manages to avoid a fatal hit and wonders if there really is a god. Feeling like his life has always been hanging by a thread, Jinwoo accepts his fate. Miraculously, a statue begins to sing, and Jinwoo realizes he has crawled towards a statue with an instrument, causing the statue of God to cease its attack. Juhee rushes to Jinwoo's side, horrified to find him injured, having lost a leg in his desperate attempt to survive. Amidst all the casualties, Juhee tries to heal Jinwoo, despite his insistence that it's enough when suddenly her nose starts bleeding, alarming everyone. Sungshik points out their dwindling numbers and apologizes to Cheol for his lost arm, but attributes the situation to his leadership decisions, to which Cheol agrees. The statue of God begins moving again, and they brace for another attack when a pillar emerges from the ground, revealing an altar. Jinwoo explains that it's for making sacrificial offerings, in line with the third commandment, "Thou shalt prove thy faith." Sungshik holds Cheol accountable as he points his sword at him, reminding him how he agreed earlier. As Cheol approaches the altar, a flame ignites. Jinwoo asks to be brought to the altar so he can examine it. 3 more flames ignite as Jinwoo and the 2 hunters helping him reach the altar. He explains the urgency of closing the gate before it fully opens or risk allowing the diabolical statue of God out into the world. Jinwoo invites the rest, and flames ignite for each of them reaching the altar. It activates and surrounds them with blue flames. Simultaneously, the door opens, leading to confusion about whether they're allowed to leave. Their uncertainty is interrupted by the advancing stone statues, signaling another imminent threat. As the stone statues approach, Jinwoo makes a crucial observation. They stop when they're looked at, like the game red light green light. He instructs everyone to look at the statues to prevent them from advancing. However, one hunter panics and flees to the door, causing one of the flames to extinguish and the doors to close slightly. Jinwoo realizes that the blue flames are a timer, and the open doors are a trap designed to lure them into false hope. He understands they must prove their faith by resisting temptation and remaining steadfast. Despite this, another hunter abandons them. Jinwoo warns the others that leaving will create a blind spot, making it easier for the statues to attack. He explains that they just need to wait until all the blue flames are extinguished. Sungshik acknowledges Jinwoo's unexpected leadership despite seeing him as a weak E-rank hunter, and thanks him for saving them, but he succumbs to fear and dashes for the doors. Jinwoo reflects on Sungshik's gratitude, realizing that what he just did ultimately cost them their chance at survival. After understanding the rules, Cheol insists Jinwoo and Juhee leave since the doors won't close if one of them remains. However, Juhee's legs give out due to exhaustion from healing Jinwoo. Jinwoo urges Cheol to take Juhee and leave, but Cheol hesitates and Juhee protests. In a heartfelt moment, Jinwoo reminds Juhee about his promise to treat her to a meal and gives her his lone E-rank crystal, asking her to buy herself food, promising to return for the change exchange if he survives. Reluctantly, Chiyul knocks Juhi unconscious and carries her away, leaving Jinwoo alone. Feeling resigned to his fate, Jinwoo grabs a sword, determined to take down at least one statue. As the statues approach, one impales Jinwoo with a spear. Bleeding profusely, Jinwoo pleads for another chance as a statue prepares for a strike. Suddenly, the altar activates, stopping the statue's attack, and a quest log appears, indicating completion of the secret quest, Courage of the Weak. Confused, Jinwoo hears a voice offering him the chance to become a player. Thinking it might save his life, Jinwoo decides to accept. A notification congratulates him on becoming a player as a blinding light fills the room and Jinwoo's fate takes a mysterious turn. Remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.